Do you want to know the 4 best color palettes for a bedroom? Well, today I'm going to share the 4 that I like to use along with a bunch of examples, and I'm also going to explain how you can find a photo of a bedroom that you love and recreate that same look in your bedroom on a budget using color. You really want your bedroom to feel like a place that is calm and peaceful because it's where you sleep. So a lot of times that leads us to choose cooler colors like blues and greens instead of red and yellow, which are the warmer colors. But let's start off first with the blue category. There are a million colors of blue. There are cooler blues and warmer blues. The closer you get to violet, the warmer the blue becomes. You really can't go wrong by looking at Pottery Barn for inspiration. I love this blue bedroom. It's an indigo blue, and in this case, they've painted the walls blue, but you don't have to do that. They've used the bedspread to set the color palette in the room, and it has a nice mix of warm tones and blues. But if you didn't want to paint the walls in your room, you could achieve this same look by leaving the walls white and using more of the blues in the bedding and the pillows and even the upholstery. And you can always bring in that indigo color blue in artwork. In the second bedroom is a Ballard bedroom, and they're setting the color palette with the wallpaper. Now, I do love wallpaper, but my problem with wallpaper is that it's expensive. It has a short lifespan, because if you put a wallpaper up, and I'm thinking back to my childhood, if you put a wallpaper up that has a lot of pattern like this, you can get tired of it pretty quickly. So what I like to do instead is use the wallpaper in a much smaller and more affordable way. You can frame the wallpaper, and then if you get tired of the wallpaper, you just take down the artwork. Instead of wallpaper, if you go to a site like Spoonflower and you see a wallpaper you love, you can get that same print in a fabric and just get a few yards of it that can be the inspiration for your room. In this third example, it's a much deeper blue. And you can see again, they've put the blue on the walls, but you don't have to. They've used the rug to set the color palette in this room with really deep blues and reds. But if you couldn't paint the walls, you could bring in a lot more of that dark blue with the bedding and upholstery and window treatments. There's a much lighter blue, and they've used a lot of neutral colors to warm up the space because the blue is really bright and light. They've used a rug that has a lot of texture and window treatments that are warmer. And if you wanted to recreate this look in your room, without painting the walls, you can always paint the walls. It's much faster to change the look of a room without painting the walls by changing the fabrics and the artwork and the rug. The second color that I really love to use in a bedroom, and that is green. In this bedroom, they've used a deep green on the walls, but they've broken up the color with an oriental rug that has basically every color of the rainbow in it. In this more modern green room, I think they're using the artwork to determine the color palette, but they're bringing the color green through to the walls and the bedding and the drapes. And in this last example, the green bedding is picked up also in the upholstery, but the room has a lot of neutral tones to it. So if you don't want to go all in on a color, it's a really great way to incorporate some color without going to the extreme. Now I'm going to talk about pink in a bedroom, and pink doesn't have to be a really feminine color palette. In this first example, it's a pretty modern bedroom, and the pink is a really dusty color pink, and it's mixed with a lot of neutrals. In the second bedroom, they're using a rug with a lot of pinks in it to set the color palette. And I don't think this room looks overly feminine either. And I feel like the pink is a really warm color if you want your bedroom to look cozy. The last color palette that I really like to use in a bedroom is an all neutral one. And if you want to go with all neutrals, you want to make sure that you use a lot of different textures in your room and different shades of neutrals. Use different creams and different whites. And you can see in this case, they've used a rug that has a lot of texture. Got a wood headboard, which is another textural element. An all neutral room can still feel really warm and cozy if you get enough textures in there. And I did a separate video about 6 things you want to do in every neutral room, and bedrooms are no different. What I want you to see from each of these pictures is if you find a picture of a bedroom that you really love, the chances are pretty high that the color has something to do with it. And if you can pick apart the elements of that room that you like, you can recreate that in your own room by finding a fabric or a rug or a piece of art that has the same color palette and build your room around that.